The locker room echoed with the slam of metal doors as the last of my teammates filed out, their laughter fading into the distance. I lingered, wiping sweat from my brow, when Coach Harlan's voice cut through the silence. "Alex, stay back. We need to talk." My heart raced. Not from the grueling soccer practice, but from the intensity in his eyes that I'd noticed more and more lately. A look that made me question everything I thought I knew about him, and about myself. I sat on the bench, lacing up my sneakers slowly, trying to play it cool. Coach Harlan was in his mid-30s, built like the athlete he'd once been, with sharp features and a no-nonsense demeanor that commanded respect from the entire college team. He'd been my mentor since freshman year at Westwood University in California, pushing me harder than anyone else, always saying I had potential to go pro. But lately, our interactions felt charged, like there was an undercurrent pulling us closer. "What's up, Coach?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. He paced for a moment, then stopped, rubbing the back of his neck. "Alex, I've been watching you, not just on the field. You're talented, driven, but you're holding back in life. I see it in how you isolate yourself from the guys, how you avoid the parties. Is there something going on?" His concern felt genuine, but it stirred something in me, a flicker of hope mixed with fear. I'd always been the quiet type, focused on grades and goals, but deep down, I knew why I kept my distance. I was gay, and in a macho world like college sports, coming out wasn't an option, or so I thought. As we talked, the conversation shifted from my performance to personal stuff. Coach shared stories from his own college days, how he'd struggled with expectations from his conservative family back in Texas. They wanted me to be the perfect son, football star, marry the cheerleader, the whole American dream, he said with a bitter laugh. I nodded, relating more than I let on. My parents in Seattle were progressive on paper, but they'd freak if they knew I wasn't into girls. The talk stretched on, the sun dipping low outside the windows, casting golden hues across the room. By the time we wrapped up, it was dark. Coach clapped me on the shoulder, his hand lingering a second too long. "You're not alone, kid. Remember that." I left feeling exposed, like he'd peeled back a layer I wasn't ready to show. That night, tossing in my dorm bed, I replayed his words. Was he hinting at something? Or was I reading too much into it? The next practice, things felt normal, drills, scrimmages, the usual grind. But afterward, he pulled me aside again. "Coffee? Off campus," he suggested casually. I hesitated, but curiosity won. We ended up at a quiet cafe in town, away from prying eyes. Over lattes, Coach Mark, as he insisted I call him outside practice, opened up more. "I got divorced last year," he confessed. "My wife. She knew before I did, I think. That I wasn't fully there." My pulse quickened. Was he saying what I thought? "Mark, are you?" I trailed off, afraid to voice it. He met my gaze steadily. "Gay?" "Yeah." Took me years to admit it. Hiding it cost me everything. My marriage, my peace. The revelation hit like a thunderbolt. My coach, the epitome of straight-laced masculinity, was like me. But he was my coach. This crossed lines, didn't it? We talked for hours, sharing stories of hidden crushes and the weight of secrecy. For the first time, I felt seen not just as a player but as a person. As we parted, he said, "This stays between us, Alex. But if you need to talk, I'm here." Back in my room, excitement warred with caution. What if someone found out? Rumors could ruin his career, tank my scholarship. Yet, the connection felt real, a spark in the loneliness I'd carried for years. Days blurred into weeks. Our talks became routine, post-practice chats turning into late-night texts about everything from game strategies to favorite books. Mark's vulnerability drew me in. He spoke of his ex-wife with regret, not bitterness, admitting how he'd hurt her by denying his truth. I shared my fears too, about disappointing my family, about the homophobic jokes in the locker room that cut deeper than they knew. One evening, after a tough loss, the team drowned sorrows at a bar. I skipped it, heading to Mark's office instead. He was there, grading papers. Wait, no, he taught history part-time. "Rough game," he said, offering a sympathetic smile. We dissected the plays, but soon it veered personal. Alex, you're braver than I was at your age. Don't let fear hold you back. His words warmed me, but when he hugged me goodbye, a quick, platonic embrace, it lingered in my mind. The first crack appeared when teammate Jake overheard us laughing in the hall. Coach's favorite, huh? He teased later. I brushed it off, but unease settled in. Society's eyes were everywhere, judging relationships that didn't fit the mold. Mark and I weren't doing anything wrong, but the power dynamic, the age gap, 10 years, invited scrutiny. Was this mentorship or something more? I wrestled with it, the drama building inside me like a storm. The tension escalated during a team road trip to Arizona for a tournament. Shared hotel rooms meant no privacy, but Mark and I stole moments in the lobby, discussing life beyond soccer. One night, under the desert stars by the pool, he confessed more. Coming out to my family was hell. My dad disowned me for a while, said I was ruining the family name. I listened, my own fears mirroring his past. What if my parents react the same? I whispered. He squeezed my hand briefly, our first real touch beyond handshakes, and said, they might surprise you, but you decide when. That touch ignited something undeniable. Back home, our bond deepened. We'd meet at parks, away from campus, sharing dreams. Mark wanted to coach at a higher level, maybe advocate for LGBTQ athletes. I dreamed of playing overseas, free from American prejudices. But whispers started. Teammates noticed my absences, Mark's favoritism in lineups. Why's Alex starting every game? Muttered Ryan, our captain. Jealousy brewed, laced with suspicion. The first major conflict hit when my roommate, Ben, found a text from Mark on my phone. Thinking of you after that win. Proud. Innocent, but Ben's eyes narrowed. Dude, that's weird. Coach texting you late night. I laughed it off as motivation, but inside, panic rose. Ben was from a small town, vocal about traditional values. If he suspected, it could spread like wildfire. Mark sensed my stress. We need to be careful, he said during a hike in the hills. This isn't just about us. It's your future. But us? That word hung heavy. Were we an us? The attraction was mutual. I felt it in stolen glances, in how his laugh made my chest tighten. Yet, ethics screamed he was my coach. Power imbalance. What if it was seen as grooming? Society loved twisting gay relationships into scandals. The drama peaked at a campus event. A guest speaker on diversity in sports mentioned LGBTQ inclusion, and Mark spoke up passionately. We need safe spaces for athletes to be themselves. The room applauded, but later, in the parking lot, a parent confronted him. You're influencing these kids with your agenda? The man snarled. Mark stayed calm, but I saw the hurt. That night, he called me. Alex, this world isn't kind to people like us. Maybe we should cool it. His words stung. Was he pulling back? I confronted him at his apartment. First time there, a modest place filled with books and trophies. You can't just drop that bomb and retreat, I said, voice shaking. We argued, emotions raw. I'm trying to protect you, he yelled. From what? From feeling something real. I shot back. Tears welled. We were both scared. In the end, we hugged, agreeing to navigate carefully. But the seed of doubt was planted. Social pressures mounted. My parents visited for a game, gushing over Mark. Such a great coach, Mom said. If only they knew. I tested waters, mentioning a friend questioning his sexuality. Dad frowned. It's a phase. Focus on school. My heart sank. Meanwhile, the team dynamic shifted. Jake started jokes about bromance gone too far, eyeing me suspiciously. One rainy afternoon, after practice, Mark pulled me into his office. Alex, I think I'm falling for you. The confession shattered the air. My world tilted. Joy surged, but fear followed. But you're my coach, I whispered. He nodded, conflicted. I know. That's why we can't. Yet we did, sharing a chaste kiss, full of promise and peril. It was electric, but guilt crashed in. What were we doing? The fallout began subtly. Ben confronted me, Are you and Coach together? I denied it vehemently, but lies tasted bitter. Rumors swirled online. An anonymous post on the campus forum. Coach Harlan too close with player? Inappropriate. Panic set in. Mark faced questions from the athletic director. Just mentorship, he insisted. But scrutiny intensified. We met secretly, debating our path. Resign? Come out? Run? Options swirled, each laced with loss. Society's gaze felt oppressive, judging our love before it bloomed. The age difference fueled debates. Was it consensual or exploitative? In gay communities, such relationships sparked controversy, power dynamics in sports especially. The scandal erupted when a photo surfaced. Us at the cafe, heads close, laughing. Posted anonymously on social media, it went viral on campus. Hashtags like coach-player drama trended. Teammates bombarded me with texts. WTF, Alex? Ryan called a team meeting without Mark. This affects all of us. If it's true, it's messed up. Accusations flew. Favoritism, betrayal. I defended us. It's not what you think. We're friends. But doubt lingered in their eyes. Mark was summoned to the dean's office. Allegations of improper conduct, they said. He fought back, explaining it was platonic, a half-truth now. But the university launched an investigation. Power imbalance, the HR rep noted. Even if consensual, it violates policy. Mark's job hung by a thread. He texted me, "Stay away for now." Isolation hit hard. Friends distanced themselves. Some supported quietly, others condemned openly. My parents caught wind via a frantic call from my sister. "What's this about you and your coach?" Dad demanded over the phone. I came clean partly. "I'm gay, Dad. And Mark. He's helped me accept it." Silence stretched. "This is disappointing," he finally said. "A coach? Older man? It's wrong." Mom cried, worried about my influence. Their reaction gutted me, echoing societal biases against gay age gap relationships. Protests formed, some for LGBTQ rights, others against predatory behavior. A student group rallied, "Protect athletes from exploitation." Counter-protests shouted, "Love is love. Mind your business." The campus divided, mirroring broader cultural wars. Media picked it up. Local news ran segments on the coach and the star player. Romance or scandal? Pundits debated ethics, consent in mentorships. Amid chaos, Mark and I stole a meeting in a distant town. "This is tearing us apart," he said, eyes weary. "Maybe we end it before it destroys you." Tears flowed. "No, we fight." "But how?" We consulted a lawyer friend. Policies were gray, but public opinion wasn't. "Come out fully," she advised. "Own the narrative." The investigation dragged on. Witnesses, teammates, testified mixed. Some saw favoritism, others genuine care. Jake admitted jealousy fueled his suspicions. Ben apologized privately. "I didn't mean to out you, but damage was done. My performance tanked. Scouts lost interest. Mark faced suspension threats. A turning point came at a town hall. Students packed the auditorium. Mark spoke first. "I'm gay. And yes, I've developed feelings for Alex. But nothing inappropriate happened until recently, and it's mutual." Gasps rippled. I stood up. "He's right. This isn't abuse. It's two people connecting in a world that hates it." Applause mixed with boos. The dean promised fair review, but tensions simmered. Post-event, hate mail arrived. Anonymous threats calling us perverts. Support too. Letters from alumni sharing similar stories. The controversy highlighted systemic issues, homophobia in sports, rigid hierarchies. Was our story a catalyst for change or a cautionary tale? We navigated carefully, focusing on emotions over actions. Long walks, deep talks, rebuilding trust. Mark regretted not disclosing sooner. I wished I'd been out. Society's judgment forced growth. But at what cost? The climax built as the university's decision loomed. Rumors of Mark's firing spread. Teammates split. Half boycotted practice in solidarity, half demanded his removal. I led a petition for inclusivity training. Parents called daily, urging me home. "This isn't you," Dad said. But it was finally authentically me. One night, alone in my dorm, despair hit. Was love worth this? Mark's call interrupted. "We face it together." His resolve reignited mine. The next day, the dean announced, "Investigation cleared us of misconduct, but Mark must step down as coach to avoid appearance of impropriety." Bittersweet victory, he kept his teaching job, but lost his passion. Relief washed over us, but scars remained. Mark transitioned to full-time history prof, advocating for LGBTQ policies. I switched teams to a rival school, starting over. Distance strained us, him in Westwood, me an hour away, but we made it work, weekends together, building a real relationship away from the spotlight. Society's echoes lingered. Family Thanksgiving was tense. Dad barely spoke. Mom tried bridging. "We love you, Alex, but it's hard." I challenged, "Hard because I'm gay, or because of Mark?" Silence. Over time, cracks formed. Dad attended a PFLAG meeting, slowly thawing. Backlash continued online. Trolls doxed us. Supporters countered with Love Wins campaigns. A national sports mag featured our story. Breaking barriers. A gay coach and players fight. Interviews delved into ethics, age gaps, power dynamics. "Consent matters," Mark emphasized. But society assumes the worst for gay men. Debates raged. Was it inspirational or irresponsible? Personal growth deepened. I mentored younger LGBTQ athletes, sharing my journey. Mark wrote a book proposal on inclusivity in sports. Our bond strengthened through trials. Honest talks about insecurities, past hurts. "You saved me," he said one evening, watching the sunset. "No," I replied. "We saved each other." Conflicts arose anew when Mark's ex-wife reached out. "I support you," she messaged, but warned of media scrutiny. Paparazzi hounded us briefly, twisting innocent outings into scandalous affairs. We sued for privacy, winning a small victory. But it highlighted double standards. Straight coaches dated assistants without fuss. We were villains. Campus life evolved. Westwood implemented anti-discrimination workshops. Other schools followed. Our story sparked change, but at personal cost. Lost friends, strained family. Was it worth it? Nights of doubt plagued me, but Mark's presence grounded me. A new twist. My new coach, sensing my distraction, benched me. Focus on the game, not drama. Frustration boiled. I confronted him. "This drama is my life." He backed down, but it underscored ongoing prejudice. Teammates here were wary at first, but openness won some over. Holidays brought reconciliation attempts. Christmas dinner, Dad raised a toast. To family, all of it. Tentative but progress. Mark joined virtually, charming Mom with history trivia. Small wins amid big battles. As spring approached, we planned a trip, first real vacation, to Hawaii. Excitement built, but so did external pressures. A conservative group petitioned to revoke Mark's teaching license, calling him a bad influence. We fought back with legal aid from LGBTQ orgs. Hearings were grueling, testimonies dissecting our relationship. "Is 10 years too much?" one panelist asked. "Age is arbitrary," Mark argued. "Love isn't." The board ruled in our favor, citing no wrongdoing. Victory tasted sweet, but exhaustion set in. "How much more?" I asked Mark, collapsing into his arms. "As much as it takes," he whispered. Resilience defined us now. Social circles expanded, gay friends, allies. A double date with another couple normalized things. Laughter flowed, stories shared. For once, we weren't the controversy. We were just us. Yet, doubts crept. What if resentment built? Mark's career shift, less coaching, more academia, changed him. "I missed the field," he admitted. Guilt gnawed. Was I the cause? We talked it out, recommitting. The story's arc crested toward resolution, but life isn't tidy. A surprise. My old teammate Jake apologized publicly. "I was wrong. You two showed courage." Reconciliation healed old wounds. As summer dawned, we moved in together. A quiet house in the suburbs, away from campus chaos. Domesticity brought joy. Cooking together, debating politics, planning futures. Mark proposed coaching youth leagues volunteer style. I aimed for graduation and pro tryouts. Family ties mended further. Parents visited, awkward at first, but genuine effort shown. Dad bonded with Mark over sports talk. Mom shared recipes. "We're trying," she said. Tears of gratitude followed. Broader impacts rippled. Our story inspired a documentary pitch, real lives, real struggles. We agreed, hoping to humanize the debate. Filming unearthed emotions. Reliving the pain, celebrating triumphs. "This is bigger than us," Mark noted. Challenges persisted. A job offer for Mark in New York tempted him. Better pay, fresh start. But what about us? I asked, fear resurfacing. Debates ensued. Long distance? Move together? Choices loomed, testing our foundation. In the end, he declined. "You're my priority." Commitment solidified, but it sparked internal conflict. Was I holding him back? Society's narrative, younger partner as burden, echoed. Therapy helped unpack it. A final twist. At a Pride event, we spoke on a panel. Questions flew. Power imbalance? Does it ever equalize? Mark replied, "With time, communication, yes." I added, "Love defies labels." Applause thundered, but one heckler shouted, "It's still wrong." Security escorted him, but words lingered, fueling ongoing discourse. Life settled into rhythm, practices, classes, quiet evenings. Our love, forged in fire, endured. Yet reflections haunted. The initial pull, the scandals, the growth. Had we handled it right? Years passed in this narrative's close, me graduating, Mark thriving in advocacy. We married in a small ceremony, family present, tears of joy, vows exchanged, through storms and sun, honeymoon in Europe, free at last. But questions remain. Society evolves, but prejudices die hard. Our story, a blend of romance, drama, conflict, mirrors many, challenges norms, sparks debates. Was the coach-player dynamic inherently unethical, or can love transcend roles?